My partner is Albanian and his parents escaped communism, and I'm American and I grew up in an opioid crisis. And something we talk about frequently is how capitalism, when it goes too far and starts entering fascism, and communism, when it goes wrong, because we haven't seen it thrive yet, they can have overlaps in behaviors. And an unwritten rule in white-collar corporate America culture is the unwritten rule of individualism. And I talked about in this video how that can be a disconnect for people from communal cultures, and I gave the example of people from Eastern Europe, and how even for Americans from working class environments and who are immigrants, and who particularly immigrants of color, when you have limited resources, you share them. But you're right, communism, when there's enough scarcity, can get to the point where you are stabbing people in the back to try to gain more favor, to try to survive, if you need more rations, for example. But the same happens in capitalism. And we see this in the work environment of backstabbing people trying to get ahead. And it gets especially salient when people implement stack ranking systems, which are becoming popular again in the tech world, where the bottom 10% get cut no matter what. And in my upcoming book, I talk about how Microsoft did that like 10 years ago, and their market cap cut in half because people stopped focusing on getting the work done and instead started focusing on making sure they weren't part of that bottom 10%, making sure somebody else looked worse so that they could survive. And notice through all of this, if you're going to say 10% have to leave no matter what, there is then no questioning of why your hiring system is continuously giving you 10% poor performers, because that's not the point. The point is to maintain control through chaos, though it doesn't work long term, because again, people don't produce when they're living in fear. But it's incredibly hypocritical because, again, why aren't you working on improving your hiring system? Americans in particular tend to have a very binary view of like capitalism, communism. It's a knee-jerk reaction to if you criticize anything about capitalism in the States, that people freak out and start telling you about the horrors of communism. And having very limited travel, and I think having very limited time off in the States, because you're not guaranteed to have time off, paid time off, and how expensive travel is even domestically, makes it harder to see other places that have found more of a middle ground. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, you want to learn more, join my school linked in my bio. It's where I do all of my courses and I have weekly group coaching. If you want to ask me about your situation one-on-one, you can book some time on my calendar. The first 20 minutes are free and one-on-one coaching is available for purchase. But if you want to test the waters first, I recommend joining my Thursday call in my school community, where you can learn from other people, network, and ask me questions live. Leave a comment if you'd like to see a video about a particular topic or a course in my school.